AskReddit. Nosy parents of teenagers, what do you wish you shouldn't have seen? When we moved house and all the stuff was in the new place, one of the moving guys called me out to double check the receipt, and when we were out of my mom's earshot/eyeline he handed me the weed pipe that had fallen out of the hid-a hole in the back of my desk when they were moving it. What a bro. My mom found my butt plug tail on the bathroom counter. I had washed it and forgot it in there. She was crying laughing as she threw it at me. As a kid, it seemed like, no matter where you hid shit, your mother would find it. I had a nice stash of spank mags when I was a young teen, and decided I would hide them in one of my guitar cases, even behind the guitar. My mother would have absolutely no reason whatsoever to open one of those. She still found them and acted like she wasn't looking for anything. I'm a parent, so one weekend wife and I are chilling out in bed watching whatever garbage on TV when our youngest son, 11, comes in and says oldest brother, 13, is looking at porn on his tablet. So we call for oldest son. He denies and denies, of course, so tell him to bring me his tablet. He hasn't learned the art of incognito browsing or clearing history completely. Going through his history, well, I'll be damned, he is looking at porn. Not just any porn though. Some anime stuff, some adult raunchy stuff. But the real kicker was the Scooby-Doo porn. Fred fucking Velma, Shaggy fucking Daphne, Velma doing Daphne, etc. So mom leaves the room to let dad and his son talk about this. Starts with the usual, don't lie, you can't hide this shit from me. If I go through your browsing history, it's okay to masturbate. In private of course, you're growing up, yada yada yada. Finish the conversation, give him his tablet back, but as he's walking out the door, I can't but help do my best/worst Scooby impression, that Shaggy followed by Zoinks, Jinkies and Rara found your porn. His face got so red, and I just lost it. I was in tears. Now every so often, when he starts to cop an attitude with us, I just go Zoinks to him. Kicker of it all, youngest son comes into the room with I was only joking. I didn't know he really was. Not a parent, but when my brother was 7 he was complaining of my mom's PC running slow. Out of curiosity I check history in case he downloaded any viruses. Minecraft porn was multiple of the searches. Yep, wish I was kidding. I raised a daughter as a single father. I'm not a natural snoop. I try to not be too nosy. The worst part for me was having her around my mom. My mom is more nosy than any 5 people I have ever met. My mom was left alone in my house with just the dog when my daughter was 15. My daughter is now in her mid-20s, and I still have not heard the last from my mom about her having 3 different vibrators, and therefore is somehow perverted. She hasn't lived at home since she left for college at 18, and I'm still hearing about it. My mom walked in on me doing a 2-handed loop jerk. The headphones I had on were loud enough to block out the door opening sound, but not her scream. Edit, should probably mention it was also her lube. I found a poopy dildo hidden in the now unused floor vent in the bathroom. I lived with my mom and 4 younger brothers. It doesn't matter whose it was, I'm still wishing I'd never seen that. My mom found a thing saying I was bi and confronted me while crying about it and begging me to tell her why I had turned away from God. 6 years later, and I'm still so far in the closet I may as well rule Narnia. Also, she found my yaoi stash when I was a fucking weeblol. Not a parent, but a witness to their finding something they didn't want to see. Work it. Guy had his daughter's computer that was having issues opening some photo application and needed it fixed. As we're going through and checking if it worked, yet opened up and presented an image of his daughter, naked, holding a huge dildo. No words were exchanged. He closed the lid and left. Edit, I got quite a few questions about the age of the daughter, and honestly, can't say. He mentioned her being home from college, so I'm assuming 18 plus. I'm not a parent, but on my 16th birthday my girlfriend at the time was over, and we were in my room watching a movie just chillin'. I went downstairs at a point during the night, leaving the GF in the room to get a drink of water. Whilst downstairs my mother asks me if I had any laundry to be done. This wouldn't be strange for most 16-year-old guys, but I had been doing my own laundry since I was 14 due to my parents regularly being away for days at a time for work. I was confused, but just replied no, I did some yesterday, I'm checking anyway. So she did. I got my glass of water and one for the GF and started my path back to my room when two shrill screams come from that direction. I ran to the door. My mother storms out, eyes on the ground, and grumbles, "I'm never going into your fucking room again." I enter the room, perplexed, only to find my GF wrapped in a bedsheet on the bed, her clothes strewn on the ground. She had been sat on the edge of the bed with nothing on whatsoever when my mother walked in. The night was ruined, and my mother never entered my room again. I'm sure she regrets being such a nosy fool. A small bag of weed stuffed in the bottom of his fleshlight.